Hello everybody, welcome to the Focus Forum. This week we are talking Champions League because it returns Tuesday and Wednesday games. We'll have a quick chat about all 5 of the British boys who are in action. We'll start on Tuesday. Manchester United take on Bayer Leverkusen. Gentlemen, in a group that also includes Shakhtar Donetsk and Real Sociedad. A first Champions League adventure with Manchester United for David Moyes, Martin, and plenty of questions will be asked again.
Well, that's right, and if you look at Sir Alex Ferguson, it took him a long time, didn't it, to sort of grasp. In the end, he perfected that tournament. So as much about the manager as about the team, but it's a home game and they need to attack it. There's enough experience in the group. I expect Manchester United to win this one.
18th consecutive Champions League campaign for Manchester United. As Martin says, Kevin, they know what they're doing when it comes to this competition, even though there is a new man in the dugout.
Yeah, but Martin just touched on it there about the players themselves. The players have got so much experience of Champions League football. So I think this campaign, certainly for David Moyes, is going to be about getting to know the competition, certainly, but the players have been there and they've seen it and they've done it, so I can't see them having a problem qualifying.
Because you went out in the qualifying stage with Everton, didn't you, back in sort of 2005, 2006, yes. And that was a chastening experience for Everton, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, finishing 4th was a huge achievement for us that season before. It was a great season, but we just couldn't get over the final hurdle against Villarreal in that playoff match. And I think that was probably a questions asked to David Moyes then. Has he tactically astute enough to to have a European adventure? But he proved that with Everton. He had some good adventures in the Europa Cup with them.
Atmosphere will be interesting. Yeah. Those, you look about the Champions League nights in the past, the prawn cocktail brigade. It goes a bit quiet sometimes there. Do they love him yet, David Moyes? Has he won their affections? Didn't really buy the players they wanted in the transfer window. So yeah, he needs to get off to a good start.
Also on Tuesday, it's Manchester City against the Czech champions Plzeň, I think that's how we're saying it.
Yeah.
And they're one of the top seed City, so they face in that group also CSKA in Moscow and the big boys Bayern Munich as well. But Pellegrini's been brought in, Kevin, because of what he can do in this competition. He did it with Malaga last season.
Yeah, Pellegrini, and with Villarreal, who knocked Everton out as well. So, but I think certainly for Man City, this is a big test for them this season. I think they haven't really produced any sort of the football that we know they're capable of in the Champions League for the last 2 seasons. So I think it's a group they're more than capable of getting out, and I expect them to qualify.
Without being seeded, they've had some unbelievable groups, haven't they, up to now? Maybe this is the year that they can get out of it. And it is, you grow. It's a learning experience. Looking back to my own Champions League career, it started for me quite late, 30 years of age. But, it is a different competition, and tactically, Pellegrini will have to get it right.
OK, let's turn our attention to Wednesday, where Chelsea face FC Basel, who they met last season in the Europa League semi-finals. Also in that group, they have Schalke and Steaua Bucharest. That's Group E. Should be a relatively easy progression for Jose Mourinho back at Chelsea.
Well, it's easier said than done, isn't it? Shakhtar, excellent side at home. I think they'll be very difficult to beat. But again, you would expect Chelsea to progress. They've strengthened in the summer. Jose Mourinho coming in, who knows the competition as well. I would expect Chelsea to qualify.
And he's desperate to win it with Chelsea, isn't he, Martin?
There's a drive about him, isn't there? Didn't do it at Real Madrid. Didn't win the Super Cup last time out as well, let's not forget. So I think this guy's focused. I think he's a little bit, he calls himself a special one, but what I'm hearing about him...
He knows exactly how to get the team through in competitions. He'll get them through out of the group, I'm sure, and into that knockout.
I know you want to talk about Arsenal. They face Marseille in their first game in Group F. It's then Borussia Dortmund and Napoli also in that group with them. 2 seasons ago, Marseille and Arsenal were in the same group. Both sides finished top in the group that time. But with Dortmund in there, we know what they can do. And Napoli, with Rafa Benitez in charge, and some of the signings they've made, obviously Higuain, who Arsenal were looking at as well. I mean, they've got an incredibly strong side as well.
This is a game that Arsenal really must win, and it's the first one out, so the pressure's on. Marseille are the team, probably the weaker team of the group, so they'll need to win this game. I think they did that the last time they were there. I have a lot of respect for French football, so it won't be easy. But Napoli are probably the team that could upset things in that group.
And what about Celtic, Kevin? They're in with AC Milan, their first game away in Milan, and then it's Barcelona and Ajax.
Yeah, I know. It's a daunting group. I mean, they've been written off before it even starts. But Celtic, certainly at home, have proved against the top teams they can get results. I don't expect them to go away and beat any of those sides, but it'll be a good adventure for the supporters again.
Of those 5 British teams, which one do you think has the best chance of winning this season?
Chelsea, for me.
I'd love Manchester City to have a good run this year. I think Manchester City, with Pellegrini coming in, I think they've got a good chance of progressing. If not winning, certainly get to the final or semis this year.
Wonderful stuff. Hope you've enjoyed that little Champions League preview on our Football Focus forum. Coverage of all those games on 5 Live over the next couple of games as well. And we are back on Football Focus 12:15 this coming Saturday. From Martin, Kevin and myself, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Goodbye.